Hey guys, it's me, back with another video. Y'all know I ain't recorded in a while. Last time I recorded, I was showing y'all from the surgery, and um, I had the surgery one day. I went home the next day, and everything was going good. I showed you guys some pictures and all of that, and then all of a sudden one night I just took a turn for the worse. So that's why y'all haven't been seeing any videos from me. Because from the last video I showed y'all, I came home that next day. I've been back in the hospital ever since. What happened was the surgery was a success. It really was. But unfortunately, I had blood clots come out of my legs and go into my lungs. So I'm in the hospital now. I've been here for a while. Just really felt like recording. And not that I didn't want to talk to you guys, but when you're in that kind of pain, I started out when I was at home having real bad, just a burst of dizzy spells. They were so bad to the point that I had to yell out in order to keep my sanity. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was causing it. It just happened all of a sudden. I went into the hospital because they were getting worse and worse. I went into the hospital and they sent me home the same day. They were saying that because I wasn't eating properly, and which wasn't true. That just goes to show you how stuff go. So they sent me back home, and I wound up going back that next morning. They had to call the paramedics, and when I got here, they took me into the trauma center. I believe it was a trauma center. They were doing all kind of x-rays, and they had specialists coming in, blood teams, because I was having some internal bleeding. Blood teams coming in and trying to figure out what's going on. Come to find out, blood clots had went from my legs into my lungs, which was causing the dizzy spells, and appetite was just gone, losing weight rapidly. Lost up to 5 pounds in less than 3 days. That's how fast the weight was coming off. And just so weak I couldn't stand up. It got to the place, like I said, I just couldn't take it no more. They wind up admitting me where this is where I am now. They wind up admitting me into the hospital, y'all. This is my room. It's my bathroom over there. That's the nurse's station. Got my TV. This is my view out there. And here I am. I thank God that the doctors had the knowledge that God allowed them to have, or I probably wouldn't be here today. It was really bad. I wanted to record. In all of this, I was trying to record because it's a bunch of other kings and queens out there that's going to be going through hip replacements. You have to be very careful with that. I was on a blood thinner. The surgery was the 27th of June. They stopped the blood thinners the 25th of June. And they said me being off the blood thinners is what caused all of this. I don't know how true that is, but they say that's what's caused. My body was so used to it till when they tried to wean it off, I became ill. They had to stop the blood thinners to do the surgery, else I would have bled out in surgery. So it was a kind of messed up situation all the way around. But one thing that I always remember and I always try to tell you guys is always keep your faith, because God got the last word. I was very fearful, very tearful, everything, because I forgot the queen that God had anointed me to be in all this devilish fear. But God brings things back to your memories. When I walked out the bathroom, this is after I had the surgery, I walked out the bathroom. I was already in pain. They get you up to walk the same day. I was already in pain, and I went into the bathroom. Well, when I woke up that morning, I couldn't get out of the bed. I was like kind of paralyzed from my waist down, and I couldn't get out the bed. I called for the nurses to come help me, which they did, come help me get out of the bed. And they tried to walk me to the bathroom, because that's why I got up, because I had to go to the bathroom. But once they got me up, they wanted to take me into the bathroom. I told her no. I'm a very independent person, y'all. I am. I've been like that all of my life. As a child, just independent. Just want to know that I can do stuff for myself. So anyway, I go into the bathroom, and the aide stick her head in the door and said to me, Miss Phyllis, I'm gonna give you a few minutes, because I'm crying because I was scared. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to get yourself together. Now, one thing they don't do, anybody has surgery, no, they never leave you by yourself. For some reason or another, this lady did. She left me in the bathroom alone. Just as she went out, her and another aide was standing at my room door, right in front of the room door, talking. I got up and walked toward the door. And me walking toward the door, I felt this pain in my leg, which made me cry out to God in the worst way. And I just asked God, why has he forsaken me? Which I know God has not forsaken me. Y'all, don't get me wrong. I have a one-on-one with God, and I know God had not forsaken. But when you in pain and you hurting and all of that, you liable to say anything. And God know that. He know that. So, just as I'm coming out the bathroom, I'm study talking to God and asking him questions. They say don't question God. Y'all, that's not true. If you don't question God, how are you going to get answers? Sometimes God is the only person you can get answers from. So anyway, I winded up walking back to my chair alone. As I'm going back to my chair, my recliner, a lady come in the room. She had her back turned to me. She had on the most prettiest blue colored uniform that I had ever seen. She turned, and meanwhile, y'all, I'm still crying. She turned and said to me, why are you crying? Before I could get the answer out, she pointed at me. She said, you are my sister. You are my sister. And she walked over and grabbed my hand and began to rub my hand. She said, I'm here to let you know that God has heard your cry. Now, mind you, when I'm talking to God and all of this lady wasn't nowhere around. She had no idea what I had said to God. She said, I'm here to let you know that God has not forsaken you. He's heard your cry. He knows your pain. He hears your whimpering. He hears everything. And he's here with you. Never feel like God has forsaken you, sister. Never. When I looked at this woman's hair was solid white. It's like somebody had carved her hair out of white wood. True story. Had carved her hair out of white wood. She had on a mask. When I looked at her face, I can't tell you if she's black, white, purple, or green, because this lady had a glow coming from her. And when she touched my hand, I just felt instantly a uplifting. So she told me, she said, I got to take some blood out of your hand. But meanwhile, she studied quoting scriptures from the Bible and telling me messages that God has sent and has said. So once she got the blood and put the Band-Aid on and everything, she went to walk out the room. She said, let me pray with you. Not pray for you, around you, behind you, but let me pray with you. So she prayed. I just held my heart, because I couldn't stop crying. I just held my head down while she prayed, and she was rubbing my hand all while she was praying. When she got through, she hugged me. She walked out of the room. She said, never fail to remember that you are God's child. You are God's child. You are an anointed child of God. And the lady walked out the room. I got myself together instantly and hurried up and walked to the door on this walker because I wanted to catch this lady. There was 2 aides standing at the front of my door. I hollered to the aides, "Hey, catch that lady in the blue that just went out of here." They both turned and looked at me like I was crazy. The aide said, "Nobody didn't just leave out of here." I said, "That lady did just leave out of here. She done took blood from my hand and everything." Nothing. So when my doctor and everybody started coming into the room, because I was so upset, they was questioning me. I said, "A lady came and it was exactly 5 o'clock when she stuck me." I looked dead at the clock. I looked dead at the clock when she stuck me. They told me, or I asked my doctor and them, I said, "Can y'all please find out who this lady is? I just want to just thank her and hug her and let her know what she did for me." The doctor said, "Who are you talking about?" I was like, "The lady came here at 5 this morning and took blood from my hand. I had the Band-Aid on still, the little cotton thing they put on, everything." I said, "She took blood from my hand." I said, "When I looked at the clock, it was exactly 5 o'clock. They told me they did not have an order for anybody to come to my room at that time of morning to take blood." That made me remove the bandage, because now my brain is really going. So I moved the bandage. There was a speck of blood on the bandage, and it was actually this hand, y'all. There was a speck of blood on the bandage, but there was not a hole in my hand where she had stuck me. There was not a hole. Now my mind is really turning over. And God had started to deal with me again. God sent me an angel. He sent me an angel to let me know that he still is in the blessing business. He's still alive. He's still here, and he still got my back. No matter how it might seem, how hard it might seem, God let us go through stuff for a reason. That was a reason I went through that. And y'all, I'm telling you, it was just so unreal. The whole situation was just so unreal. It was like I was in a place I had never recognized. I couldn't remember what was around me. It was just unreal. This is a true story, y'all. I'm not making this up. This, honest to God, happened to me. So even all the way up until the day I got ready to go home, I still was trying to find out who this lady was. Nothing. So anyway, I wound up going home. And then that's when the dizzy spell started real bad. Because the devil be trying to work too. But he can never step on God's head. Never. So I go home, dizzy spells start. I kept telling my kids something is wrong, something is wrong. I don't feel myself. Y'all know I'm real perky and alive. I don't feel myself. I don't feel like I'm in this place. It was like my spirit was here. Well, my body was here, but my spirit was in another realm somewhere. And in all that, God was constantly dealing with me. Sometimes when God teaches stuff as kings and queens, y'all, we have a tendency of forgetting because we so used to trying to handle stuff on our own. We forget that he the man with the master plan. Everything we know as kings and queens were taught by him, whether we want to admit it or not. Okay, there were some things that I had forgot as a queen. Don't mean I was a bad queen. Don't mean that I defiled God. Don't mean none of that. But it's things that he wants to bring back to your remembrance so you may be able to help somebody else. So I winded up here. They ran tests, and I think every machine they got, they put me through. Like I was a little baby, I was just helpless, y'all. Well, at least I thought I was helpless, but I wasn't. So when it all boiled down to it, they told me they were going to keep me, which, like I said, that's where I am now. And they came in the other day, which was 3-4 days ago, and told me that they found 2 blood clots in my lungs. And they found 2 blood clots in my lungs, and Y'all, this is my doctor. He peeped around the corner. Y'all, he looked like he about 12 years old.
And she said she's gonna marry me.
And I told him I was gonna marry him, yeah. And I'm trying to learn about China because he's from China. And I told him yes. Yes. Out of all the confusion I went through, he was one of the only ones that I truly, truly remembered. Tell him what your
Hi.
name is. And he got the cutest name. Tell him what your name is.
Bro, my Chinese name is Yang Wei.
Yang Wei, y'all.
But I go by William because that's simpler.
Yep, and he go by William.
It's also my middle name.
That's also his middle name.
What is this?
So
Is
he
this
been
live?
teaching me.
With who?
It's YouTube.
Oh.
So he been
How'd you
teaching
do
me
that?
about, yeah, I'm a YouTube baby. So he teaching me about everything. So y'all, I just wanted to give y'all an update. I'll give y'all another update. I need to talk to him right now.
I don't know. I can come back.
So, yeah, because I'm pretty much almost done. So I was just telling them about my experience and how everybody was so good to me and they got to the bottom of the problem. So I'm getting ready to go home. And I thank God for them. I thank God for everybody that was here to help me, that put forth and cared enough to give me the help that I needed to get better. But I just want to let all the people know who got all you kings and queens that got to have hip replacements. Make sure you up on your game. Make sure you know what's going on. Make sure you know your history. And make sure you take care of yourself and you do what these doctors tell you to do because they know best. That's why they're your doctors. See you soon. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this video. I'll be talking to y'all later. I'm sorry it took me so long. I'll see you guys over on Instagram later on. I'm out. Peace.